Chapter 3. Secret Service in flip-flops. The Secret Service insisted they could blend in. This assertion, like most optimistic statements in human history, was immediately disproven by reality. The first sign came when a woman in a red swimsuit, an actual tourist, approached the towel hut, glanced sideways, and whispered to her partner, "Why are those two men wearing matching Hawaiian shirts, but standing like they're guarding a portal?" They were, in fact, guarding a portal. A human one. Harold Pops Finnegan had wandered toward the beach's juice bar, and wherever Pops went, the agents shadowed him the way planets follow gravity, not because they wanted to, but because mass demanded it. Agent Ruiz stood by the smoothie counter pretending to be interested in a laminated menu that promised papaya bliss. His sunglasses were thick enough to be used for welding, and his flip-flops were brand new. Brand new in that they had not yet learned the language of his feet. Each step made a sound like an indecisive kiss. Next to him, Agent Donnelly attempted to lean casually against a palm tree. The attempt failed on 3 levels. 1, he had chosen the only palm that had been freshly oiled with sunscreen by a toddler. 2, he leaned at the exact angle that screamed federal training. 3, he did not blink for 40 seconds. Tourists blink. Agents blink like metronomes. Donnelly blinked like surveillance cameras. A group of girls walked by carrying inflatable flamingos. One of them paused, squinting at the agents. "Are they together?" she asked her friend. "Or filming a commercial?" "No," her friend whispered. "I think they're Secret Service." If there was a word the agents feared more than assassination, it was noticed. Ruiz cleared his throat. "We need better cover," he murmured. "We are in cover," Donnelly whispered. "We are blending." "You're standing like you're waiting for an extraction helicopter." "Maybe I am." Ruiz sighed and pretended to sip a smoothie he did not have. He mimed it convincingly, until he realized people were watching. He stopped, dropped his hand, and made the fatal error of nodding professionally. Agents do not nod at tourists unless they're acknowledging a threat. 3 retirees nearby panicked and shuffled their belongings into a tighter defensive circle. Ruiz whispered, "We're supposed to look relaxed." Donnelly adjusted his lei, an unfortunate neon green one handed out at the front desk. "I am relaxed." Ruiz glanced at the other agent's shoulders, which were clearly braced for impact. "You're standing like someone's about to fire a cannon out of the gift shop." Donnelly straightened his posture. Unfortunately, straightened for him meant standing in formation. A toddler pointed at them. "Mommy, those men are broken." Meanwhile, 20 yards away, Pops was browsing the juice bar like a man selecting stocks. "What do we think?" he asked no one in particular. "Mango ginger? Pineapple turmeric? Or should I combine them and let my organs decide?" Ruiz stepped forward instinctively. "Sir, be advised, mixing both—" "I wasn't asking you," Pops said, waving him away. "I was communing with the fruit." Ruiz stiffened. Donnelly inhaled sharply. Tourists stared harder. Pops picked up a cup, sniffed it, and leaned closer to the counter, his movements bright with the possibility of trouble. Ruiz raised one hand to his earpiece. "Navigator is 30 yards away," he said. "Father-in-law approaching unknown beverage," Donnelly responded. "Threat level? Dietary." Across the sand, President Kai Tanoa sat on a lounge chair reading the sports section with the serenity of a monk. He did not look toward the juice bar, but the corner of his mouth twitched. "They'll be fine," he murmured to Sophie, who had begun filming the agents discreetly. "This is art," Sophie said, adjusting her focus. "Documenting grown men trying to impersonate vacationers. It's like watching flamingos attempt algebra." Back at the juice bar, the agents split into formation, which was, regrettably, their biggest mistake. Tourists travel in clumps or loose scatter. Agents travel in a triangular formation with the precision of military origami. A dad with a baseball cap noticed their pattern. "Honey," he whispered, "is the president here?" His wife was applying sunscreen to their squealing toddler. She didn't look up. "We are in Hawaii, Bob," she said. "The president does not vacation at the same resort as you." But Bob watched the agents with increasing fascination. Those men are definitely Secret Service. One of the agents knocked his elbow against the smoothie blender, jolting it into action. It whirred loudly, startling a teenage couple who had just come for matching piña coladas. "Don't worry," Donnelly whispered urgently to Ruiz. "We practiced this." "When?" Ruiz asked. "In the van. You fell asleep in the van." The blender continued whirring. Tourists glanced around like an animal herd sensing predators. Pops, unaware of the scene collapsing around him, tried to pay with a $5 bill that had been washed so many times, it looked like an ancient artifact. "Sir," the woman behind the counter said kindly. This is wet." "It's clean," Pops insisted. "Sanitized." Ruiz stepped in again. "Sir, if you wish, we can—" "Ruiz," Pops said. "The last time you gave me advice, I ended up with a kale smoothie. If kale had feelings, it would apologize for its existence." Donnelly looked miserable. "We are definitely not blending." "No," Ruiz said. "We absolutely are not." At that moment, the flip-flop disaster arrived. An agent never runs in flip-flops. It is a universal truth. It is as sacred as the laws of physics or the knowledge that teenagers will always lie about sunscreen application. But down the beach, Jonah had accidentally launched his drone, again, and it had begun drifting toward a family with a newborn. Donnelly saw it and acted on pure instinct. He sprinted. Flip-flops cannot sprint. They object loudly and immediately. The left one flew off at a trajectory that could be described as ballistic. The right one clung desperately, slapping against his heel in a rhythm that suggested distress. Tourists gasped. One woman laughed. A man took a picture. Someone else began filming. Donnelly grabbed the drone out of the air with a maneuver so expertly executed that, for a moment, the world paused. He stood triumphantly, drone in hand, chest rising, flip-flop missing. And he remembered. Tourists don't catch drones mid-air. They duck. He turned. Ruiz was holding his forehead. "We just trended," Ruiz said. Back under the palm trees, Kai finally lowered his newspaper. He took in the scene, the barefoot agent holding a captured drone. Ruiz trying to pretend to read a smoothie menu. Tourists staring with the subtlety of searchlights. Sophie lowered her camera. "They're adorable," she said. Kai sighed. "They're trying." Pop strolled back with his smoothie, proud of his choice. "Tell your men," he announced to Kai, "that blending in requires a philosophy, not footwear." Kai looked at him. "You've overwhelmed them." "Impossible," Pop said. "I raise expectations, like a small natural disaster," Kai said. "Like a master," Pops corrected. Behind them, an agent tried to retrieve the lost flip-flop from a tree branch using a tourist brochure. The tree refused to cooperate. Kai leaned back on his lounge chair again. His voice was low, almost affectionate. "They try to blend," he said, "but they forget one important fact." "What's that?" Pops asked. "They're still guarding you."